Bonneville. Been having some running issues with it. Determined that it's a fuel pump, as I went and already diagnosed that. Under the hood, ran a fuel pump test on it. Come up with about 25 psi, so it's not enough to keep it running very good. It will start, but it won't run. So I'm going to show you how to change the fuel pump on a electric fuel pump that's in the gas tank. The first thing you'll have to do, as you can see that I've already got done, is get it up on jack stands high enough so you can get up underneath it. I've already pulled the one tire off on this side because it made it a little easier to get to the things. I've actually already got the gas tank out of this, but I'm going to lay under and kind of show you. They're fairly simple to pull. There's not a lot to them. 2 bolts that hold up the straps, unhook the 3 fuel lines that have clips that I'll show you how they come out, and then you just have your fill nozzle and vent tube off the gas tank. You can see here I've already, like I say, got the gas tank out. That's the fill nozzle and vent hose that came off the side of it. This spot right up here, that's where one of the strap bolts go. And then right over there is the other spot. Sometimes you'll have to move the exhaust. On this one here, it slid down out of the way without the exhaust being pulled. And then I just kind of bent the straps back out of the way so they wouldn't catch. But now that I have the gas tank out, I'll film it as I put it back in. And then pretty much everything you see will just be reversed. And then show you how to remove the fuel pump, sending unit and that from the gas. And then show you how to take that out and replace the fuel pump on it. Or you can replace the whole sending unit along with the fuel pump. Well, as you can see, this is the gas tank. I've now got it out. I'm sitting on the ground. On this one, I've actually got the new sending unit already in, but I'm going to pull that out just so you can see what it takes to actually get the fuel pump and sending unit out of the tank itself. The fuel pump does have these lines. As you can see, those particular lines right there, there's 3 of them. Those are hooked to the same way they're hooked right there to that sending unit. They're hooked up underneath the car. You want to undo those from the lines and where they hook up to the car because it's much easier to get the tank down. Otherwise, you can't even get to them when the tank's up there. They have a plastic clip. All 3 have the same kind of clip. As you can see, that white piece is part of the clip that actually holds it onto the line. I'll show you how to remove those. You'll also have to remember that on an old rusted line, you will have to work them a little bit. So you may have to use channel locks and whatnot, but for the most part, you can get them off by squeezing them with a little pair of channel locks, and the way they come off is just like this. Just squeeze this white piece here, grab on the line, kind of work it back and forth, and then you can pull that whole line off. And of course, all 3 of them have the same style clips. Then once you get them off from the frame part of it, which is this other end here, once you get them off from the frame part of it, then you're able to go ahead and the gas tank will slide right down after you've got the hoses and stuff disconnected. When they go back on, it's just a matter of holding that clip, lining it up, and pushing it on. They'll lock in place. If you can't pull them off, then you're good to go. And that's what actually holds the lines. Now once you've got those lines off, The next step is the retainer ring on the fuel tank itself for the sending unit. Which is right there. That is the sending unit. And what you want to remember on some fuel pumps, with that wire that you're looking at right there, on this particular time, the new sending unit comes with the wire and all, and the wires hooked to it. Some of them, that wire, that white plug there, will unplug from the sending unit. On others, it's got a metal clip on the underside, so if you pull on that wire a little bit and it doesn't come unplugged, then don't try to force it because you'll break it. It's part of the sending unit itself. And there's the retainer clip that's on that, and I'm going to change angle so we can see it a little bit better to show you how to pull that off. There, you can kind of see it a little bit better what it is. And I'll show you how that ring pops off. And generally what you're going to need is a ball-peen hammer, neither a chisel, or I prefer to use a brass flat punch, just because it doesn't tear the metal up as much. And what it is on this ring, there are nubs up here on the top of each ring. As you take that, you tap them around. So it goes so far. As it gets past that point, as you can see, the ring hit the part, and then that ring pops right off. That's what actually holds the sending unit in. Now when you go to pull the sending unit out, what you'll want to remember also is if you're not replacing the sending unit, then you're going to want to be careful how you pull it out as to not bend the float or get anything caught on it. If you're planning on reusing that, if you're not reusing, if you're putting a new sending unit and everything in it, then you don't have to worry so much about pulling it up out of there and jamming that float up. The way this float kind of comes up, I'll try to get over here so I'm not in the way. When you pull that up, there's also an O-ring that's right there. You just want to be careful as how you pull it out so that nothing is catching. You have your strainer right there. Get that strainer out of there, pull it up, and as you can see, that float is right there. I'll usually get that strainer up out of the way. And you pull it up, and you have your fuel pump out. Once you've got your fuel pump unit and sender and everything out, then you're ready to go ahead and replace your fuel pump. Some of these now will come as a one-piece unit where you'll have the fuel pump and the sender and everything all comes as one piece. But if not, then you can replace the fuel pump separately. And when you do get the ones where you have to replace the fuel pump separately, these lines right here you'll have to snip, and they come with the wire connectors, so re-snip them together because you're using the same sending unit, and then you'll just be replacing this part here, which is the fuel pump itself.